You have to evolve. You have to embrace evolution. You can't expect things to be the way it once was and thinking that, hey, the good old days. You may want to go back, but I promise you, not everybody want to go back there with you. And so if you want to move forward and have great future for yourself, you have to accept that life is evolving. Things are changing faster than we can ever imagine. I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes. He said over the next 10 years, there will be over 70 million jobs taken away by AI. Wow. That's huge. But we can also create a new future if we don't wait for someone to take your job away, but you think forward, saying, what can I do to add value to people, even though that what I'm doing today may be obsolete in the future. So if you are preparing yourself and not waiting on change to happen to you, then you can position yourself to win. And so that's exactly what I want to share. But before I do, I want to give you an example of someone who waited too late. I don't know if you remember a company called Blockbusters. Back in the day, about 15 years or so, Blockbusters was a rental place where you can go and rent your DVDs, and also we had the VCR tapes. I know I'm dating myself. But back in the day, we can go rent videos from them, watch movies. But hey, where do you see Blockbusters now? Nowhere around. We even had Redbox. We also now moving up to where we're streaming on Netflix and other sites as well. But the whole point is, if you don't change when the time is to move, you will definitely find yourself on the outside looking in. And so I encourage you, don't wait for the change to happen to you. Change now, for you can be in the driver's seat for when change does take place. And so you have to be willing to make the same changes in your life. So what you need to do first, you need to position yourself to find what's different trends with different opportunities that people are needing, and you have to be relevant to those spaces. The first thing you need to do, you have to embrace continuous learning. So yes, you may have a system that works today, but you have to also be willing to learn different strategies of what the works look like for tomorrow. Prime example, a lot of people are moving now to electric cars. So if you currently in the way we made service cars now with the fuel engines, you may want to start learning something about electric. That's just a clue. And so you may want to also find out what's some new down the road things that are happening in the industry you're currently in. But then you may not want to stay there because you may be in an industry that one day become obsolete. So be open to learn new skills, new opportunities, because if you don't do that now, you may be positioning yourself to be in a bad spot as the future goes on. And so be open to opportunities that may lie. And secondly, don't fear experimentation. So that's the major. This is big because we don't know a thing. Having never tried a thing does not mean we cannot do a thing if we put our efforts in that space. Prime example, me, I did not see myself doing this, but hey, I tried it. That wasn't good at first. I'm still working on it. But if you don't know how to swim, you still have to get in the water in order to learn. You can read all day, but in order to learn to swim, you gotta get wet. And that's the same thing with this area that you're stepping into. You have to put your hand to the plow. You have to get bruised up a little bit. You have to learn, but you have to get involved. You have to be okay with being bad first in order to get good later. And then thirdly, now that you are out here, you have to go scared. You don't have to worry about being great at first. Know that you're going to learn to be great, but commit to the process of doing your part. Stay in consistency in doing that thing. Make the sacrifices. Find the time to do what you know you need to do in order to get where you need to get. And so when you do that, you'll be in a great position as the time goes on, and you'll be surprised. You may can fire your boss before they fire you. If you like what you just heard right there, please like, please subscribe, but even more, check out this next episode. You're going to love it even more. Be great.